YouTube, it's Brian Phillips, D18, Beechcraft. Amazing. We're gonna fly it again. It's summer and 4th of July weekend. America. Here we go. Throttle cuts off, reverse thrust. Here we go. We're just gonna back taxi a little bit, get onto the runway, and just have a gorgeous, gorgeous flight down to the fireworks. Okay, here we go. 5,000 4S. It's been a while since I flew this plane. Gear up. That's 50% throttle, by the way. Camera crew and I are moving. Landing flaps. Slowing it way down. Takeoff flaps. Get out of the flaps altogether. Show you guys a little bit of speed. Beautiful. So if you guys think this thing is docile, it can be, but it can also be crazy. It'll do it all, guys. It'll do it all. There we go. I was in my wrong expo mode. Sorry, folks. That's why you saw it being a little bit janky. So folks, if you haven't seen this beautiful plane, I think they have them in stock, ready to buy right now. Follow our links. You'll help support Brian Phillips RC, one of our favorite flying planes. In terms of twins, kind of came unexpectedly to me because I would have never picked this particular plane. I would have never picked this exact plane, but it's like other things in my life. Sometimes you just end up with an opportunity that you didn't expect, and it turns out to be one of your favorite things. Look at the ups on that thing, just absolutely gorgeous. Flaps here, gear coming out. Hear the frog. Takeoff flaps now. Doing a little bit of bowl flying here. Landing flaps here. Gear coming out. So, if you like thrust reverse, you will definitely love this plane because you can get that thing going in no time at all. All right, here we go. Forward thrust. Just gonna bring this thing out here. Let some bikers go by. Landing flaps, slowing it down right over the cherry tree and down the strip. Flying the real estate, flying the energy the plane still got left in it. I feel like that 5,000 4S where I've got it located, Could push it all the way up to the front and it would fly just fine, folks. Look at the gear. Oh, that's dirty. Gear away. So this is our timer for 5 minutes of flight time, but as you know from maybe watching our earlier reviews of this particular plane, you can go a heck of a lot longer than that. High-speed pass here. Gotta love the stall turns on this thing. So folks, if you've never flown the D18, you're just a few short clicks away. Check out the link in the video description below. You help support Brian Phillips RC. If you follow that link when you do decide to buy one, I would highly recommend getting yourself a new 5000 4S. Said that backward. You will love the way it flies. The thing flies light on its feet with that pack, and I know it seems kind of strange. That's a big battery. And yes, full disclosure, if you're getting that, it comes with an an EC5. And so if you've already got an EC5 adapter from some of the earlier versions of the smart chargers, should be no problem because you've already got your charger cable that took you from EC5 to EC3. But if you don't have that, you'll need to get your adapter or build something or cut off the adapter in this if you want to fly on 5000 4S. 5000 4S is a big battery, by the way. It looks like a 6S pack. It just happens to be 4. Beautiful. So guys, thanks for being with us all these years at Brian Phillips RC. We love demonstrating this RC equipment to you. And it's just one of my pure joys in life is to be able to bring you guys the latest and greatest in RC, narrowly avoiding trees on my property. And doing crazy stuff like that. Now, I must say, we can get landings that are better on this, and we've done it before. And camera crew and I are gonna step back. We're gonna just show you a couple of decent landings here. Get that tail wheel up, and then you'll notice that it veered pretty bad on us. Shouldn't be quite that bad, but I just kind of sucked at it. Okay, full landing flaps here. We'll see if we can get you guys a better, more relaxing, better executed landing. Not gonna be this one, but it'll be nice touch and go. You guys see that tall grass there? Oh, shibbity balls. That is what happens right before you crash your plane. Gear going up. When you ride the limit, sometimes you get bit, and I got lucky there. I didn't get bit. Camera crew, stop right there. Okay, landing flaps coming out. Here we go, riding the limit, folks. In the grass. Okay, so I'm not gonna take that as my good landing. Out of the flaps altogether, forward thrust. Let's see if we can, oh yeah. That's how you know you got power, folks. This is not a STOL plane in real life. It's not a STOL plane in RC either, but did you guys just see what happened? That was a short takeoff or landing, I can say. Here we go. Beautiful. Woo-wee! Did you see that?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is one thing that's kind of crazy about this plane is when you're flying, you have to really respect the elevator authority. I'm gonna go out here where the lighting's good and then jank it. Full throttle, jank, jank. The downside's fine, but you can get that thing into some crazy maneuvering where you're almost unrecoverable. Try to get it here. And then you can just pull right out of it, guys. Inside out loops. It's got plenty to do it, but you see how fast it snaps back? We're gonna go up, see if we can do a little roll. really wanted to try to induce a flat spin. Camera crew is wondering what the heck I'm doing. I'm not trying to crash. I'm just showing just how crazy intense the airframe is on this thing. You might get into a circumstance where you feel like, hey, feels like it's letting loose on me when I pull hard on the elevator. It's actually not. It's just very responsive, okay? Okay, there we go. There's a nice landing for you. Okay, out of the flaps. Cross the driveway. That's a dangerous maneuver. Okay, no flap takeoff. I janked it into the air there because I didn't want to go off the runway, which was kind of lame. Folks, I love this plane. It's one of my favorites. I don't want to crash it for you all, but full landing flaps. This grass is right at that height where I lose a lot of my runway. There we go. Finally, I get a straight landing. What? You wanted me to be done? You know me better than that.
I can hope.
By the way, you guys see that landing light there? Kind of looks sweet, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Camera crew?
Yeah.
Can you please migrate back? Thank you. By the way, you see the nav light, the bright green light? We'll bring it back around. We'll actually make it so you can see the other side, which would be red. A little harder there. It's very bumpy right there, folks. I can't put it down. We've been doing a little bit of work down there trying to get it to smooth out, and it's just been pretty unsuccessful. You guys remember way back when the timer ran out?
Yeah, like 8 minutes ago.
No, we still got batteries, so I'm not going to complain too much. We're just going to go in here for an efficient final. Now landing flaps back on. There it is, guys. Okay, so that being said, look, we still have voltage, so we're going to keep flying for a little bit longer. And just so you guys know what type of time frame we're talking about here, we're at 7 minutes and 49 past our initial 5, okay? So that is a lot of flight time, folks. And 3.71, you know, really that would be sort of kind of getting close to pushing it. We're gonna just back taxi. We'll actually take off the other direction just because we can, okay? Okay, you ready, camera crew?
Mm-hmm.
I did induce that roll at the end of the roll. That was very confusing. I did induce that roll at the end of the takeoff. Absolutely gorgeous plane. Whoa, that was close. I almost stuck it right between the bushes. Would have been fun. We've had like 3 near-death experiences on this one flight. But folks, I love flying these things to the limit. I know it could be done better by some others, but I really enjoy doing it for you, and I'm glad and honored that you're here watching me do it. Humble Brian Phillips. Just living it up, living my dream here on YouTube. Trying to talk you guys into living your dream too. And obviously we love doing this stuff or we wouldn't keep doing it. But I gotta say, folks, we're making some significant investments this year, and we know you're gonna be there to help bail us out. We just found out on our pond that we're probably gonna have to spend another $10,000 to $12,000 for civil engineering just so we can get a grading permit from our county. Yay, thanks county. Just so we
You're the
can
best.
tell basically the excavator operator and the 78-year-old bulldozer driver
That
that
knows
already
what to
knows
do.
exactly what he's gonna do, and that civil drawing's not gonna make a bit of difference to him.
Nope, not at all.
But that's okay, because the county will feel better and I'll be able to not get sued, hopefully, when things leak or whatever, I don't know. Anyway, guys, if you know the woes of living in civil society, do you guys hear it? It's giving me warning. You hear it? It's
Yeah,
pulsing.
I heard it.
That's why I got wonky and I changed my whole course. I'm gonna bring it in and try to give us a nice drawn out, sort of deadish stick landing. Little kiss of throttle there, full landing flaps now. A little bit of throttle. That was disgusting. It wasn't as bad as it could be, but it's not good enough for a final landing. That is, unless it's dead. So guys, if you haven't already seen enough, we're gonna go a little bit longer, probably one more circuit, just so I can get a better landing, because I don't like ending on a bad landing. This plane is amazing. It's definitely not without its challenges. Takeoffs can be a little bit squirrely, given that you have differential thrust and a lot of P factor, which is strange. You would think it would cancel itself out, but it doesn't. You end up with a lot of yaw effect you have to tolerate and deal with. Other than that, the thing is absolutely near perfect. And then thrust reverse makes up for a whole world of hurt. Let's just say, right now, I could fly this thing for 20 or 30 batteries and I would be completely satisfied. But Mother Nature's never gonna give me that many flights. And so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna back taxi this one right over so you can take a look at how beautiful it is. One last time, look at that differential thrust in full feature right now. I'll try to really slow it down so you can see. Beautiful, beautiful, fully functioning differential thrust. Super detailed, canopy opened, light shine through. Do we have a pilot? I forget. Yes, there is a pilot.
Yes.
And this plane is just a looker. Not to mention you can jank the wings off in literally 1 second. You go and grab them and just pull them straight off. And that thing is no wider than the tail fin, which is super, super cool. Horizontal stab and vertical stabilizers. With retracts up, this thing shrinks down because, as you know, you've got two-bladed props. They are aggressive props. You can do all the aerobatics you want with this plane, and it does it with impunity because there's enough power to get out of problems, as per what you saw over here when I nearly crashed it twice in a double stall. That was crazy, terrible piloting. But the thing is, because of my terrible piloting, you can buy this thing with confidence because you know you're gonna be able to get out of trouble. Now, that being said, is this a beginner pilot plane? I wouldn't necessarily say that. It's got tons of power, it's got tons of authority, and for the beginner, it's probably gonna be a little bit too much to handle. That being said, second, third, fourth plane, you know, use your best judgment. If you're doing really good with the trainer, you might be able to do this without too much trouble, but I will warn you, it's not the easiest plane to fly, but it is one of the more capable planes to fly. So with safe, you can fly this thing and it's not that hard. Without safe, then you can get yourself into trouble just like any other plane. The difference is the differential thrust and the power and the combination therein really can lead you to some weird circumstances like what happened up there. Also, smart technology, keep in mind, we flew this thing for a long time. That's 13:51, let's say I've been talking for a minute, so 13 plus 5 is 18 minutes of flight time. That's a phenomenal amount of flight time. Okay, folks? If you want to fly this thing even longer, you could probably put bigger batteries in there. Also, can you argue with how gorgeous it is?
It is.
Absolutely not. And you know what? I'm a sucker for scale aircraft. The only thing that's not scale on this thing is the tail dragger that doesn't retract. And to be honest with you, my experience has been once you get into tail draggers that retract, you get into very big planes. So being that this is only a 1.5 meter, you're not going to tend to find that. But it's one of the smallest 1.5s you can find because the tails are dual. And so they're shorter than some other plane offerings. Also with this wing that pops off right here. In fact, I've been talking about it. Why don't I just show you? Look how easy this is, guys. This just literally pulls right off. Boom. Done. You don't even have to hook a wire. You can do that to both sides. And look, you can still fly the plane if you wanted to. In fact, it would fly without this. It would just be a 3-channel. In fact, that'd make a cool video, but I'm not willing to sacrifice my plane yet. That being said, you could actually set this up and you could set up a different mix where you wanted to fly with the clipped wings. It'd be like the extreme clipped wings. I think you would have enough lift to get off the ground, but you'd have to be cooking. And that being said, you'd have to land too. And you would have like almost nothing out here to slow you down in terms of drag for your yaw. So it'd be a very different flight experience and very weird. So it kind of makes me think I should try it with somebody else's.
Yes.
So if you're ready to sign up and send your D18, then send it on over. Oh, and then of course this just slides out. So I would normally put that with the wing, and then I would set this something like that, or something like that. And that would get it completely out of the way. You take 2 of those off and this plane will fit in virtually a car seat, a regular car seat. So very excited to be able to bring you this plane. E-flite did a great job on this. It's one of the few brand new planes that we got in recent history. And yes, it's kind of annoying we haven't gotten too many more new planes, but admittedly with COVID, we had so many different delays in production, delays in getting stuff shipped all over the planet. Shortages, people out, people sick, people dead, all those terrible things that happen during a pandemic. And here we are, guys. So we're back to full strength almost, and we're glad to be there. By the way, because those wings do pop on and off, make sure you double check your control surfaces are working, and they are. And one more final look at how beautiful it looks in this sunset. So guys, if you like this type of content, it's not short, it's not a YouTube short that lasts for 30 seconds and you gain almost nothing from it. You can watch these things and really enjoy and learn a little something about a plane before you spend a few $100. When you're plopping that kind of cash down, you want to know you're getting something good. I'm going to tell you this right now. This plane's good, but it's no good without a transmitter. And the NX-10 has been great. I've been very happy with it. The NX-8 would totally do this plane and you'd be fine and you'd have plenty of channels. However, I'm going to tell you this right now. We haven't run out of anything on the NX-10 yet. We have about 160 models in here. And we've been using our NX-6, 8, 8, and 10 for the last, what, like 3 years or so?
Yeah.
If I would have started with the 10, I would have never had to move on. I would have used it for 100% of all the aircraft that we've done and would have just updated the firmware and carried along like nothing happened. So I'm going to tell you this, and I've told this to somebody this week on the comments. If you decide you want to save a buck on a plane, don't save a buck on a transmitter. Okay, here's why. You can always get another plane, and you probably will. But if you get another transmitter, you're gonna be dropping so much money over here, and you're probably never gonna go back and use the other one, okay? Whereas if you get a cheap plane, you have a good time, you break it, destroy it, whatever, you can always put some hot glue to it, or you can just move on to the next plane. If you don't ever play with it again, you're not gonna feel so bad. Whereas if you get a transmitter and then you've got like another $500 transmitter sitting right next to it, you're gonna just kick yourself every time you see it. Unless of course you got grandkids and you want them to have the feel and look of a proper transmitter and you wanna do buddy boxing, well, just keep in mind, guys, you can buddy box with a DXS or a DXE and you can use your proper transmitter as the master and then bind up your cheap transmitter from one of your ready to fly planes that you got in yesteryear, and you don't ever waste a thing. So the key is, when we give you guys good advice, we're talking about not chasing good money after bad. We're not just trying to upsell you, because really at the end of the day, we don't sell stuff on this channel. We sell a sport, we sell a lifestyle, we sell this experience. And we don't really care what plane you get, but we just want you to get the most out of it. And if that means you're buying a Jetty transmitter and you're ripping out the bind and fly basic receiver that does a perfectly good job, that's fine. If you can afford to do that, by all means, get your Jetty transmitter and spend $1,000 on your airplane for your radio system. That's awesome. And someday I hope to be like you. But right now, I'm just gonna live in Spectrum world where I can actually afford to do that. And some of you guys are probably thinking, gosh, I wish I could get to Spectrum world. Yes, true, I understand. You know, I've been there too. We've had cheap transmitters. There's been times of our life, in our marriage, when we were young, where we couldn't afford any of this crap. And I still wanted it bad. In fact, I probably wanted it even more than I do now, but we couldn't have it. And the things we did have, we fought hard to get. So we're here, we know what it's like to work for a living. We know what it's like to find some success and save money and live like you haven't. We know what it's like, and we're here, regular people doing regular everyday jobs, coming to you, speaking to regular people that we really care about, and we really want you guys not to get taken advantage of, because at the end of the day, what value we bring for you is helping you guys have a better experience, or just really talking you into the experience altogether. If it's not this plane, I guarantee you it's another one. If you're not into aviation, this channel's not for you. If you're into radio controlled helicopters, we do a lot less of that here, but we still love them. You know, same thing with cars, trucks, SUVs, all the other radio controlled stuff. Guys, I had trains as kids. I had cars as kids. My brother and I had RC-10s and RC-10Ts. We had all that stuff as kids. We loved it. I had every type of car you could find. I had radio controlled, my dad had radio controlled airplanes. I never flew them as a kid because it was too expensive. It was too impractical for a kid to have one, but I did build kits as a kid and I loved it. But I never put a gas motor on. I never put an electric motor in. And I was lucky to get, you know, this one random yellow thing called like a bee or something. It never flew more than 5 seconds. It was garbage. So I don't want to repeat that process for you. I want you to have a great experience. And if you've got young kids right now and they're asking for a radio controlled airplane you can fly around the living room, guess what? That's what I was asking for as a kid. And you can get that right now. So it's really cool to be living my childhood dreams as an adult. It's very cool. And if you're out of the hobby for valid reasons, you know, you got a family that's kept you busy, or you've got a career that's got you so busy, and all of a sudden, poof, up in smoke that evaporates, whether you have disappointments in your family life and you end up separated, or, you know, if you end up in a job where you're no longer going to be needed for 100 hours a week and now you're just going to work like 40 hours a week. Or maybe you're in a situation where your kids have moved out and you're just coming back into the hobby. We're exactly where you want to be. So if you're watching this channel, we've had people on just recently. His name's Mike. He's in a similar circumstance, kind of empty nesters, him and his wife, and he loves building kits. So we bring the kits up here from a different state, drives for like 6 or 7 hours to have us fly his planes and crash them in my yard. Super fun experience. But the thing is, that's what we do here on Brian Phillips RCs. We try to expose you to as much of the amazing, good, positive stuff in this hobby, and we want to get you in it too. Now, how can you help? You can help by buying these things when you do like them. Buying these things when you like them. Buying the batteries if you like them. Batteries if you like them. Chargers if you like them. Whatever it is that we're reviewing. And it doesn't have to be the one that we did in this video. If you get on here and you're like, I really would rather have the Cherokee. You know, I love the Cherokee. Cherokee would be perfect tonight. But we've done a number of videos on that, so we're probably not going to film that again anytime soon, unless we have a special reason. Well, I'll tell you what, but I'll be flying it. You better believe it. Cherokee up against this. Amazing, similar experiences, but this one's going to be way more powerful. That's one thing I can bring you. Ask in the comments. I'll try to help you decide between your choices. Let me know your choices. Let me know your skill level. And then we basically go from there. Sometimes it's just a budget thing. Sometimes it's just a preference thing. But we're here to help you and support you in your decisions because we have the experience. We can tell you exactly, you know, which one is better because we've played with most of them. So that being said, it's a great problem to have, having 400 or 500 airplanes in your basement, but it's also a genuine logistical concern. And so one of the ways you can help support us is to smash the like button, subscribe, and keep coming back even when you kind of get advanced and move past needing help with the radio setup videos that we do on every single plane. Because what's happening is as we advance through the ranks, so are you. And if you're brand new and we're just helping bring you into the fold, you're going to eventually outgrow my channel and you're going to move over here and you're going to be into the, you know, turbine jets and all this stuff. And we're going to be still helping people into the pipeline. Okay. So the best thing you can do is watch the videos, smash the like button, and buy something once in a while. You'll help support us. You'll help us fund all the different things we're doing on our channel, up to and including we're building a pond. That's our big thing this year. We hope we can get it done. We're running into some different landmines, but the camera crew has been working hard to get through them. And so with your help, we can execute that as well. And then we can start doing float planes again. We're expecting to have about 600 feet of frontage on the pond. So in the right wind conditions, we hope to be able to fly most everything we have from the pond, and then also introduce boats and submarines and different things like that. We'll be giving sub rides. Just kidding, we're not doing that. But we are gonna do radio controlled submarines if we can find them. And we do love pretty much everything RC here on Brian Phillips RC, but our specialty is fixed wing, and we really love it. So anyway, guys, hopefully we answered all your questions and more. That D18 is available right now. Check it out in the links in the video description below. If you're watching this and it's like 4 years later and they're out of stock, please forgive me. This is targeting, 2023 audience. And we really do appreciate you guys. And if you're seeing this on the 4th of July, happy 4th of July. Go America. We're with you. And yes, we do love this stuff. And no, we aren't crazy about remote ID, but just remember, guys, take a deep breath. There's some good people working on things right now, and you're going to find out about it soon. But I can't talk any more about it or I'm going to get in trouble. They might cut me off. So anyway, I'm just going to say that. Just relax. Keep flying in the good old USA. There's always going to be some JA who's trying to steal your rights. And you remember what we did to them a few years ago. I mean, it might have been a few hundred years ago. You remember what we did when we didn't like what they said? We said, take it and shove it up your you-know-where, and then we shot them. So that's the difference between the United States and Canada, is that Canada was like, yes, we'll do that thing too. And America was like, yeah, we'll just take your tea and throw it into the river. And yeah, we don't need your stinking tea and different things like that. And then we made this thing called the Declaration of Independence, and we said, yep, that's the middle one that we're pointing at you. And then when they came and they were like with guns and stuff, and we just had a few, we still killed them. So it was awesome. Anyway, short history lesson on Brian Phillips RC. Go America, 4th of July, good old times. Enjoy your family, enjoy your freedom. Remember, people fought for it before you and I. Some of you did fight for it. And so we appreciate you if you did, and keep fighting for it if you are. Thanks, guys and gals and everybody else in between. We appreciate you being here, a part of our channel. And we especially thanks to you people that are fighting for our freedom right now. Keep it free, please. We're dying for it, literally.